Welcome to English Vault. Learn English through stories and improve your language skills. Subscribe to the channel for more engaging stories and lessons. The Empty Jar and the Wise Teacher. In a small town, there was a school where a wise teacher, Richard, taught students not just subjects, but also important life lessons. One day, Richard entered the classroom carrying a large glass jar and a bag full of big rocks, small pebbles and sand. The students were curious. Richard placed the empty jar on the table and said, "Today, I will teach you something very important." He picked up the big rocks and carefully placed them in the jar until no more could fit. Then he asked, "Is the jar full?" The students looked at the jar and nodded. "Yes, sir," they replied. Smiling, Richard picked up the bag of small pebbles and poured them into the jar. The pebbles filled the gaps between the big rocks. He shook the jar slightly, making sure the pebbles settled in. "Now is the jar full?" he asked again. The students hesitated but said, "Yes, now it's full." But Richard was not done yet. He took the bag of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand slipped into the tiny spaces between the pebbles. "What about now?" he asked. The students laughed. "Yes, now it's really full." Richard smiled and said, "This jar represents your life. The big rocks are the most important things, your family, health, dreams, and values. The pebbles are other things that matter, like your job, school, and friendships. The sand represents the small, unimportant things like watching TV or playing games for hours." He continued, "If I had started with the sand first, there would be no space for the big rocks. The same happens in life. If you fill your time with small things, you won't have room for what truly matters." The students listened carefully, understanding the lesson. "So always focus on the big rocks first," Richard said. "Take care of your health, spend time with loved ones, and follow your dreams. If you do that, you will always find space for everything else." From that day on, the students remembered the empty jar and Richard's wise lesson. They learned to manage their time wisely and focus on the important things in life. Moral: prioritize what truly matters in life. If you take care of the important things first, everything else will find its place.